are here in the Jurassic Room, and welcome to yet another episode of Dinosaurs of the Week, where all of you, the fans, get to pick what is showcased in each week's episode. And once again, I got a lot of fun suggestions from all of you, so I'm excited to pick out 10 of my favorites to showcase for this week's episode. So for any of you that put a suggestion down last week or haven't made a suggestion yet and would like a chance to get picked in next week's episode, then make sure you let me know down in the comments below. But now let's go ahead and take a look at this week's fun picks. So the first pick we have right here for this week's episode is from Koala Plays for the Jurassic World Dino Trackers Habitat Defender Triceratops, and this is one of the most gorgeous Triceratops figures that we ever got in any of the Jurassic lines. Not only does the sculpt look impeccable on this Triceratops, but the paint job looks very cool as well, and I think my favorite part about this figure is actually just the size of this Triceratops. It is much bigger than all the other Triceratops toys that we've gotten, and it's more realistic and in scale with the rest of the dinosaurs, so I really appreciate that. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Habitat Defender Triceratops and how this is made with 60% recycled plastic, so you can make an impact buying this toy and make the world a little bit of a better place. And as a bonus, I wanted to showcase a variant of this toy that a lot of people may not be aware of, but if you look at this crest paint right here, you can see how it is a dark brown, and then here is my variant figure of it that I own, where the crest paint is almost a reddish brown. So there is a very distinct variant to this figure, which makes it fun to collect both of them, but overall, this is one of the coolest Triceratops toys that we've ever gotten. Now, the next suggestion we have right here is from Amal for the brand new released Hammond Collection Atrociraptor Ghost from Jurassic World Dominion, and this is such a sweet figure. Ghost is looking impeccable inside of this packaging. It's got a really nice sculpt and a pretty good paint job, and of course, top-notch articulation as the Hammond Collection is known for. But look at this cool little render of Ghost here too, and you can see the figure looks really, really sweet. When we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at Ghost, some of the different poses you can put it in, and the glass eye that they do with a lot of these Hammond Collection figures, except for this one has a red glass eye, which makes Ghost look really, really menacing. And like I've said in the past about these figures, I think that the Raptors, especially the Atrociraptor here, have gotten better as the Hammond Collection has gone on. The first few Velociraptors that we got were pretty good. The next few that we got were actually a lot better, and this Atrociraptor is the best of the bunch out of all the Hammond Collection Raptors we got. So with it being a new figure and being awesome, this was a great one for today's episode. Now, this suggestion we have right here is from Poland Bred for the Jurassic World Basher and Biter Tyrannosaurus Rex from Hasbro. And I know this goes around as a joke on my channel a lot as being like the worst Jurassic World toy of all time, but we're going to try to show it some love in today's video. So it's got a, I guess you can say, decent sculpt. We're going to ignore the crazy screw holes on the other side, and we're going to act like this damaged piece looks halfway decent. But it's got a little bit of a chomping attack. You can kind of go here and get it to chomp, so at least it has an action feature. There's something to this figure. Then we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our little Tyrannosaurus Rex, which with its chomping jaws, which we just checked out. So I guess that's not a terrible little feature, and we got a little bit of articulation and stuff here, but I will say the good part about this is I actually like the packaging. I always loved how it was like the skin here going from red to blue. I thought the Hasbro did pretty good with their packaging on these toys, but maybe not so much with the figure. But we tried to show this T-Rex here a little bit more love since it always gets so much hate on the channel. Now, the next suggestion we have right here is a fun one from EGE for the Jurassic Park 3 Electronic React Attack Tyrannosaurus Rex, the bigger version. And this toy is super sweet and very nostalgic for me from my childhood. It's got a pretty cool looking sculpt, which may be familiar to some of you if you've seen them bootlegged versions of them at Walmart and other stores. They have stolen this sculpt ever since 2001, but I love this coloration with the green, black, and a little bit of brown striping through it. And I've always loved that JP3 logo that they put on the legs of the toys. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our T-Rex, and we see it attacking the Pteranodon. You can see Dino makes stomping noises, which is really, really sweet. So this would normally make sound effects by clicking right here, this button, or pulling this arm back and getting the mouth to open and getting the T-Rex to roar as well. But since this is an over 20-year-old toy, of course the batteries aren't working with it anymore. But I'm super happy to showcase an awesome vintage T-Rex toy like this, especially one that's very nostalgic for me from my childhood. Now, this suggestion we have right here came from Diego Lopez for the Jurassic World Dino Trackers, Gigantic Trackers, Bista Havensaur. I might have said that wrong, but this is a cool looking carnivore figure, as all of you can see. I like the sculpt. I think it looks pretty nice. I love these spikes on the back too. They look really, really cool, and I love how these Dino Tracker toys come with capture gear. It really reminds me of the old days back in the 90s when Kenner would put capture gear with their Jurassic Park dinosaurs. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Bista Havensaur. It's total chomping action, it's tracking gear included, and it's spiky tail strike, which is pretty sweet. So we got to check all that out. So we got our little spiky tail strike right here, which I don't know if there's an actual maneuver to do that. I think you can just kind of move it around. But here, oh no, actually that is how you do it. Whoops, I'm being silly. There's one button on this side that does the spiky tail strike, and then the button on the right gets the head chomping, which is pretty cool. So this cool Gigantic Tracker figure right here has two different fun action features that make playing with this or collecting it even more fun. Now, we've got another fun suggestion right here from Egg for the Lost World Jurassic Park Junior T-Rex. And you guys know I love looking at any of my vintage toys. And this one, again, is very nostalgic for me because I had like 10 of these in my collection when I was a kid. I just always loved the sculpt on this baby Rex. And the paint job, again, is just very nostalgic for me. And it also has a cool feature where you can put the little cast in that hole on the leg, and you can actually break the leg or get it repaired with the healing cast. And then you can also put a muzzle on your junior T-Rex so that the parent T-Rexes aren't coming after the junior. Now, looking at the back of the box, we get a cool little look at our junior T-Rex and a nature scene, and then a bunch of advertisements for a lot of the other Lost World Jurassic Park toys, which are all really, really sweet. But again, I love this little junior T-Rex right here, and this is one that is probably nostalgic for a lot of people because I had a bunch of them growing up, and I'm sure a lot of you did as well. So I'm always happy to showcase a fun little figure like this one. Now, this next suggestion right here is from Bent for the Jurassic World Dominion Massive Action Ampelosaurus, and this is a funky looking figure to me. Obviously a sauropod, but look at this. It's got such a thick neck. Normally when we get a sauropod, the neck is a lot skinnier than the body, but this one not so much. This one must have ate too many leaves. It's a bit chunky, but it does look pretty cool and is really unique. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get a good look at our Ampelosaurus and its total neck attack and its chomp, which is pretty cool. So you can get the tail going here to get that neck attack, and then over here to go side to side, and then you can also click the button to get a little chomping action, so he can lean down and eat up some leaves if it wants, or lean up and eat up some leaves, whichever way it's trying to eat, because clearly this Ampelosaurus likes to eat with how thick that neck is. But all jokes aside, this is a pretty cool and unique species, and one that I'm happy to have in the collection and happy to showcase for all of you. So now we have another awesome suggestion right here from Geo Sweat for the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Roarvor Allosaurus. And I'm not gonna lie, I really love this figure. I love the sculpt on it. I love the little spikiness up here over the head. And I just think all around it looks like a really nice figure. I'm a little sad that Mattel didn't give this one the repaint treatment like they've given to a lot of the figures, but I guess there's nothing we can do about that. But it does look pretty awesome with the gray and the little bit of the yellow paint around it. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Allosaurus and how you can press the button for sounds and chomping action. Now the sounds probably don't work anymore because this is a toy from 2018, but we'll go ahead and check it out. As I suspected, the sounds aren't working, but you can at least see how that chomping action works on this Allosaurus. And this is probably my favorite of all of the original Roarvor toys that released. So with that being said, I'm glad that I picked this one for this week's episode. Now, the next suggestion we have right here is from Adam Dino Adventures for the remote control blue. And this is one of the weirdest toys that I have in my collection. It is official merchandise, but it's not something you really see very often. It is like a remote controlled blue that kind of runs around the floor. I actually got this from one of my friends that took a trip up to Canada and then brought it back for me because they never released this in the US, but it is a funky looking toy, as all of you can see. And then when we look at the back of the box, you get a better look at it and its full function, how it goes forward, backwards, left and right, and has some sounds and a cool little remote too. But as you can see, JurassicWorld.com down there, this is official merchandise from a company called Hyper Toys, which is interesting. Maybe it's a Canadian company. I'm not 100% sure, but this is one of the more odd toys that I have in my collection. So it's pretty fun that we got to showcase it on today's episode. Now, the final suggestion we have for this week's episode comes from I Play the One for this Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Action Attack Carnotaurus. And this is another really sweet figure. This is the first ever Carnotaurus toy that we got from Mattel, so it holds a little bit of a soft spot just because of that. But the sculpt is looking pretty cool, and the paint job is not too shabby as well. It looks pretty nice. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Carnotaurus and its massive chomping action when you press the button on the back. So let's go ahead and check that out. Very, very cool. So something I like about this is how it doesn't just open its mouth like a lot of the toys. It actually has like a chomp back. So it like snaps back at you. So you can really get this thing going real quick if you wanted to. This is a pretty unique toy, and it was the start of a lot of awesome Carnotaurus toys from Mattel. So for that reason, it has a little bit of a soft spot for me. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Dinosaurs of the Week. Once again, if you would like to have a chance to be featured in next week's episode, then make sure you let me know down in the comments below. Want to see more awesome Jurassic content? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss any of my content. Also, check me out on Instagram and join my Discord server for so much more Jurassic fun. The links to everything will be in the description below. Check out more awesome Jurassic videos here.